Welcome to my Thursday and to a week from the Twilight Zone. Hello friends, and welcome to Monday of a brand new school week. And I'm coming to you at the end of the day. I meant to come to you earlier, but the day kept on going because I don't have specials on Mondays until the afternoon. And then during specials, something happened again with our bathroom. It happened earlier this morning where it was flooding again and we told the kids not to use it. But when the custodian came doing specials to clean it up, the water started pouring out from the drain on the floor again. And then after I picked up the kids, the water kept coming out, and I was wise this time, and I managed to get the kids to get their book bags out of the cubby system, and I moved the cubby system, but the water just kept coming in, and it reached our classroom rug and our IP classroom rug, because that water was not very pleasant. I mean, it looked clear, but it smelled horrible, and it touched our rug. So our rug is so long goodbye. And I just finished speaking to the principal, and she's going to replace our rug, which I'm so grateful for. And the assistant principal and the plumber just got here, and they're waiting for the custodian. And they're going to figure out again why this is happening. And it's funny, not funny haha, but funny weird, because the kids, while all that was happening, and I was trying to manage to get them out of the room because we eventually ended the day in the media center. They were like, Miss Sanchez, are we jinxed? Because the same thing happened the last week of the last grading period. And this week is the last week of the second grading period. But anyway, I am managing to keep it together right now. I did have a moment and I was okay. But then my brain started to have a panic attack because of everything just overwhelming, anxiety. It goes back to the trauma. My trauma brain kicked in. But anyway, I think I'm okay right now. It's close to 4, but I'm just going to gather my things and go. My room is in a disarray, and that's how it's going to stay. And tomorrow I'll figure out what to do. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Some of these desks had to be moved over. See, I moved the cubby system. It was there. I moved it over there. I put Barry on top of it because Barry was in this corner, and the water came from the bathroom all the way until it touched the rug right there. I did move that bookshelf. I took books out of it so that I moved it out of the way and it wouldn't be touched by the water. And all this got like bunched up over here, squished over here. So yeah, this is my classroom right now, and that's how it is. And I'm really trying to keep it positive here and rise above and choose joy. So think of the good things. But yeah, I'm going to gather my things. Like I said, I'm going to get going. And tomorrow is another day. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about what we ended up doing today. But yeah, just wanted to come on here, say hello, start the vlog for this week, and let you know what we ended up dealing with today. See you tomorrow. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. So I'm coming to you from my car because this morning I did go to school, but I didn't stay there long because my son was sick and he needed someone to pick him up from school, and my mom was sick and she was at her doctor's. So I ended up asking the principal if I could have some time to go off campus while my students were in specials so I can go pick him up from school and take him home. But she said, you know what, you should probably take a half day so that you can take care of that, maybe take him to the doctor. So I'm very grateful for her. I ended up having to split my class, but my teammates are so wonderful and I can't wait to thank them tomorrow when I get back to school. So I was able to get my son from school, and when I picked him up, I made an appointment for him to see the doctor, and he has the flu. So for the rest of the week, he has to stay home. I'm glad I was able to do that, and he's going to get the rest and the medicine that he needs to get better. But if you remember when I had the flu last year, it's no bueno, and a lot of people are getting the flu this time of year. So that's a little bit of what happened today, Tuesday, this morning, like I said. It was a whirlwind. The students and I were working on some interest surveys, and then it was time for them to go to music. And while they were in music, that's when I asked for permission, and that's when everything transpired. So as far as the plumbing in the classroom goes, everything is good to go now. It appears that some of the students have been flushing the brown paper towels down the toilet, creating some backup and clogs. So we had to talk with the students, and we need to remind them daily about what goes in the toilet and what doesn't go in the toilet. All right, so that's a little bit of what happened today, Tuesday. So now I'm at my reading endorsement class. Today is the very last day that we have this class. We are turning in our case studies today, and that's it. I'm done. I will be reading endorsed, and I am so proud of myself. All right, so now let's move on to Wednesday. Hello everyone, and welcome to Wednesday. So I'm definitely back into my classroom today. I'm coming to you at the end of the day, and just to say hello, I need to dash out and go to a faculty meeting, but I'll come back on and I'll let you know the highlights for today and just catch you up on our day. So let me dash out and I'll see you soon. All right, I am now back from our faculty meeting, and I'm actually gonna get ready to go. I have this humongous bag right here that I need to take with me home. It is full of papers that I have to finish grading tonight because grades are due by tomorrow afternoon, I believe by 4 p.m. or something like that, or in the morning. I forgot what time it was or whatever. But yeah, I need to get this done and taken care of tonight. Grades are due tomorrow. And I have to admit, I took this bag home over the weekend thinking that I was going to tackle these papers. It didn't happen. One, because on Saturday I had my reading endorsement class, which lasted the entire day. And then on Sunday, I wasn't really feeling that great and stuff, so that didn't happen either. And we all know what's happened in the past 2 days. Monday, there was the day ending with the flood that ruined our classroom rug. And yesterday, I had to leave early because my son was sick. And then I had the last class for the reading endorsement last night, which is done. I submitted my case study. I am so proud of myself. I can officially add reading endorsement into my teaching certificate, possibly by March, the instructor said, because it takes about a couple of weeks for them to finally finish the course out and award us the points. And once those points are rewarded and they appear in our professional development system, then I can go ahead and apply to add the endorsement into my certificate. That will be the third endorsement I add to my certificate. I already have an ESOL endorsement and a gifted endorsement, and now reading endorsement. Feels so great. I also need to get on board with finishing my dissertation. Every time I say that, my brain goes like, meh. But I really need to get done with that so I can finally finish. My goodness, why is it taking me so long and it's so difficult to get this done? Anywho, so let me put you up on a tripod because my arm is getting a little tired from holding up the phone so I can tell you about our day. All right, so first and foremost, today is a short day. Wednesdays is always a short day. I feel like I don't have enough time to do what we need to do, and this morning we started with having the students work on their spelling booklet. Because of all the things that have been happening, they didn't get their spelling homework on Monday since we had to leave the classroom suddenly. And yesterday I left early. So what I did is I gave them back their spelling pretest today, and then I gave them their spelling booklet so they can at least work on it in class and can finish it up at home so that they turn it in on Friday and they're ready to go for Friday's spelling test. After that, we went ahead and went into A Child's Fight for Rights, which is a biography about Craig Kielburger and his whole Free the Children organization and how he got started with that. So we were reading that, looking into the author's point of view, which led us to discuss what is a first-hand and a second-hand account. So I pulled up my iReady toolbox and I showed them two different accounts of the same topic, which is the Titanic. So one account was a second-hand account, just giving facts and details, etc., about what happened when the Titanic sunk. And the second one was a first-hand account of a survivor and his perspective of what happened that day. So we were able to compare and contrast both. And then we also shared, what do we learn from the first-hand account that we don't learn from the second-hand account? And what do we learn from the second-hand account that is not present in the first-hand account? and how we can use those two accounts to really put a whole picture together of that whole experience. That led us to then also read the second example, which was about Sally Ride and her first time going into space in the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1983. So just having the experience, I mean, the kids are like, in the first-hand account, we feel like we are right there experiencing it with them. I'm like, right, because of the use of all the vivid language and also the character or the person's feelings as they're experiencing that event. So that makes a big difference. So we talked about that. We talked about who Sally Ride was. Since we had already talked about Mae Jemison last week, it kind of meshes together. But yes, we talked about her. And then the second-hand account was a historical, like a today in history or this day in history, about her flight into space. And we learn a little bit more background as to what she studied. She was a physicist, and something that she helped NASA with, which was designing that design for the arm of the space shuttle and how she used it in that mission. So that was really great. It was a great experience, a great lesson. Did we get through all the questions in that particular passage from Wonders? No, it didn't, but the discussion and the questions that I was able to ask the kids while we were looking at those two different passages on those different accounts of the same topic, the students I feel like had a really good understanding of it. So now we're going to go ahead and wrap up with that tomorrow, and then hopefully maybe by Friday they can take the Wonders unit assessment. I wanted them to take it by tomorrow. I'm being realistic. I don't think it's going to happen because I do want them to answer those questions for that passage. And then we also need to read the paired selection so they could also put those pieces together. And the genre we're working with is biography. And I did ask them, so is a biography a first-hand or a second-hand account? They were able to tell me that it's a second-hand account and that an autobiography would be a first-hand account. So I feel good with that. That was a reading lesson. It kind of went into our writing time, and then it was time for Spanish. Then lunch, and then after that we did math, which we used up a lot of time since we hadn't been able to touch on math yesterday. And we were going over how to change mixed numbers into fractions and fractions into mixed numbers. So we were working with that and doing some practice. And I also gave them a recommendation on a website that they can use to practice their basic skills, because I still notice that my students are not really quick with their basic facts with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So I told them about the website arcademics.com and how it's free, and they have a whole variety of games that they can play in order to practice any different skill that we have been going over in class, whether it's multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. They even had one on comparing fractions. They also have some for language arts, synonyms, antonyms, etc. So you should definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. All right, so those were the highlights for today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with our Wednesday. And now I'm going to go home with this bag. Have a grading party at home. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Hello friends, and welcome to Thursday, or like I like to call it, Friday Eve. And boy, this week has been jam-packed full of different things, and my theory is always correct, or at least it has been proven to be correct all these different times, that the week that grades are due, the end of the grading period, is always the week that is jam-packed full of stuff. Not only full of stuff, but the most interesting things seem to happen. So not only did my room get flooded on Monday afternoon, but also Tuesday, as you may recall, I left early because my son was sick and ended up having the flu. My mom is also sick, and I think she also has the flu. So both of them are home and they're sick. And then that evening, I went to my reading endorsement 5, which was the last day of that class, but I also had to turn in my last assignment, which was a case study. And after that, I was stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes because 2 of the 3 lanes in the expressway were closed. So it took me longer than usual to get home. So fast forward to Wednesday, which was yesterday, and after school we had a faculty meeting. It wasn't that long, so I'm not knocking on it, but we had to vote on some things, and then I got back into my room, but I was so worried about my mom that I just left. And as you may recall, as I was leaving, I carried my huge bag to grade all those papers that I needed to grade. I did do some grading at home, but this morning I had to finish up on that grading. So I came in early and bright in the morning. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm grading away, when all of a sudden the custodian comes in and he tells me they have to remove my rug ASAP. Remember, my rug got ruined from the flood. And I have been meaning to do it, but it's kind of difficult because all these bookshelves that are around me sit on top of the rug. So I have to literally move the books out and then move the bookshelves, etc. Well, he came in this morning, he helped me out. We got the rug out, but it kind of created a little bump in the morning, so it was a little hectic because while the students were trying to come in, we were trying to do that, and then the students came in, and I had a couple of students help me put books back together. It was just a interesting way to start the morning, and it did create a little bit of frustration, but you know what? We're okay right now, and the principal is working on ordering us a new rug, so we're very thankful for that. So moving on the day, just trying to finish the grading of the papers, then turning the grade verification form, which was due at 4 p.m. this afternoon. I'm coming to you way after that. And I have to say, I am completely done. I'm good to go. I met the deadline. We finished the second grading period, and tomorrow we start the third grading period. And just like that, the school year is now halfway through. There's only 2 more grading periods. And I always feel like this part of the school year just moves very, very quickly. So I'm actually coming to you from our classroom library. You don't notice any difference, but there is no rug currently on our floor. The classroom library area is just bare to the floor. That's where I have our round table, floor table with our floor seats, and our cushions are on the floor. And just, you know, this is what we're dealing with and we're working with as we wait for a new classroom rug, and that's just the reality of the things. And yes, moments like this can be frustrating and stressful, but we gotta like move past it at one point or another and just focus on the positive and choose joy. That's my word. And sometimes it's hard to just focus on the joy, but I'm trying my best, even though sometimes my brain just wants to go into these cycles of anxiety and stress and pressure, and sometimes I don't know how to get myself out. But you know what? It's just temporary, and then eventually I start feeling better and I can move on with my day like I have. So yes, I'm coming to you at the end of the day. We did a couple of different things. The students were practicing changing mixed numbers into fractions and fractions into mixed numbers and adding mixed numbers and renaming them so that they can find the final answer. And I'm glad that as they were doing it, they started to understand it more. Plus, they were having fun doing it. They kind of didn't like the fact that they had to stop because we had to go to specials, and they asked if they could continue after lunch, which they did. And then after that, we went to the computers, and today was also class picture day on top of everything else. So we did that and then continued with our computer time where they were doing their iReady and reflex math. And then we came back into the classroom and we watched an episode from One Strange Rock, which is now available on Disney+. It used to be available on Netflix, but now it's available on Disney+. And they really love it. It's hosted by Will Smith, and 9 different astronauts, including my favorite, Mae Jemison, is one of the astronauts that shares information about what they're talking about our planet. So we did that, and then the students worked on their social studies project, which they are still working on their storyboards to create their PowerPoints on the sections for that chapter that we're currently working on. So that is a mouthful, and I feel like I talked really, really fast. I'm sorry. But that's what we ended up doing today, Thursday. Tomorrow should be, hopefully, a much smoother day, and then we have a 3-day weekend because Monday is Martin Luther King's birthday. And yeah, so welcome to my Thursday and to a week from the Twilight Zone. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I am way past my time that I like to leave. I've been meaning to leave at 3:30 every day, and I pretty much have done that. But today, because of everything going on with the grades and the deadlines and all that stuff, I have stayed way past my time. It is now 5:05, so way past my time, and I hardly had lunch today because I was working through lunch. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grab a bite to eat, go home, check up on my son and my mom, see how they're doing. Hopefully they have been able to rest and they feel better than I saw them yesterday. And yeah, oh my gosh, I just noticed what the kids did with Barry. By the way, Barry is not in our classroom library area right now, and Barry is our big stuffed bear. He's not in our classroom library area right now because there's no rug, and I really don't want to put him on the floor. There's like kind of no space for him right now. So I sat him on our couch, and then when the students were using flexible seating today, they moved him to sit on top of the stage. But then at the end of the day, I told the students to put him back on the couch, and I gotta show you how Barry looks right now. This is how the students placed him. Check him out. First of all, the kids crossed his hands like word or something, I don't know. but they put his feet on top of the little stools on the rug. How cute are you, Barry? Adorable. You gotta love these cute little things that the kids do. And yeah, that is it for today, Thursday. And we are certainly now moving to Friday. Hello everyone and welcome to Friday. So we've made it to the last day of the week, second week back from winter break, second week in school since the year started, 2020. So I am coming to you during my planning time, and in a few minutes I have to pick up the students from specials and take them to lunch. But this morning we were working on our math, going over chapter 7 review test, any questions that the students may have had, and going over how to subtract mixed numbers when we have to rename the top mixed number. So yeah, I am wearing a new shirt that we got during the faculty meeting this week. It says, "Celebrate the Magic." It has our little school mascot, the dolphin. Very, very cute. I'm very thankful for our administration for gifting these shirts to us. So yeah, another thing that I did this morning is I went to Publix, our local supermarket, because I am not happy with how I am health-wise in wellness. And I don't want to focus too much on weight, but weight is a factor as well because it adds all these other health concerns that have come up. And I gotta treat myself better. I gotta eat better and do well with that. And I have been doing my steps and so forth. And by the way, if you're interested in knowing more about how I am planning to move on with this wellness journey, let me know in the comments down below and I'll share here and there what I am doing. But I did go to Publix and I'm making it a point to reduce my sugar intake for the next 2 weeks just to see how it goes, and also my carb intake. Because I have the body type that I shouldn't eat too many carbs because they're not good for my body's metabolism. So let me show you what I ended up getting at Publix because I'm getting ready for lunch and getting my food ready. So I wanted to share with you what I got. So here's my bag. This is the Earth Smiles Every Time I Use This bag. It's a reusable bag that I also got from the supermarket. But in here, just to snack on, I have some seaweed snacks, which I like. And I usually like to also snack on some turkey pepperoni. I pair these with cucumber and hummus, and they're very, very yummy. And in here, I also have some sweet peppers, which I'm going to pair with some hummus. And I also got some guacamole that I can also use either with the sweet peppers, raw like this, or with the cucumber that I got. For sweets, if I am having a sweet tooth, I did get some blueberries and some strawberries as well. I also got some cashews that I like to pair up when I'm eating the berries. So that, and by the way, this is not for today. This is just buying some healthy groceries so that I can use for the rest of the weekend leading up until next week. I picked this up. It's called Mush Overnight Oats, and this one is dairy-free milk, which is important to me. And I really don't do almond milk. I'm actually allergic to almonds, but this one has coconut milk. And I wanted to try this and see how it goes. I mean, it has a lot of carbs, so I don't want to do too much oatmeal, but I thought that this would be a good serving for a snack or for breakfast. Here are the little cucumbers. They're called pickles, but they're basically cucumbers that you can use to make pickles. I'm just going to use them as cucumbers. I picked up some Black Forest ham, which is really good as a source of protein. This is one of the hummuses that I picked up, or the one that I picked up right now, but one that I like, the roasted red pepper hummus. And for lunch today, I'm having this sushi on rice paper and this seaweed salad. So that is my grocery haul for my healthy eating that I'm planning to do. All right, we'll see how it goes, but I gotta go back and start doing more of the healthy choices that I used to do in the past and get back to a better me physically, mentally, spiritually. So moving on to that. All right, time to get the kids from PE so I can take them to lunch. I'll catch up with you probably at the end of the day. And yeah, this is the agenda that I put on the board to structure our day. So as you can see, that's what we did in math. Kids are in PE. Now we're gonna do lunch. After lunch is recess, then Spanish. This is what we're gonna do for reading. what we're gonna do for writing, and then social studies. And that's what we were working on today. This is the subtraction that we were doing. All right, so I'll see you later. It's now the end of the day, and I just wanted to bring you the highlights from today. And I am so happy to show you that we went through our entire agenda that I had written out on the board this morning. Check it out. Everything is crossed off and checked off. We got through everything we wanted to do today, and that makes me really excited and happy. I just want to say that the students also, in addition to that, it's not written on there, we took our spelling test today. We got through that, but we also started our wintergrams. I know I'm a whole week late. I meant to do it last week, never got the time, and then this week was so choppy with everything that happened that we didn't get to it. But if you don't know about wintergrams, it's an idea by Fancy Free and Forth. I'll link her down below. And I've talked about her before. She's also on Instagram. And let me show you how I'm going to use it, because there's multiple pictures in the resource for the students to use. But I just have them do one picture of one thing that they did during winter break and write a caption about it. So here is the example layout that I show the students. So they got this on a separate sheet of paper that they have to cut it out along with the picture and the caption. So they first have to decorate this. They put their first thing here. They draw the picture. They write a hashtag related to the picture, and then they write the caption related to the picture. They glue this all together on this strip of construction paper. I have a lot of different colors for the students to choose from, and then that'll be on display in our classroom. Then after that, the students went into their groups and worked on their project for their chapter 4 on Florida's geography that they were all assigned. I talked about it a little bit last week. And then what I decided to do was to show them an example of what I expect them to do by using the previous chapter that we finished. So this is the example storyboard that I show them. And I went through the process live with them so that they can see how we select them an idea, the gist of the sections, the paragraphs, or whatever is being talked about in that particular part that they were assigned, and the key details. So this is a section that I worked on, and this is what I created for myself. And based on the information that was here, I decided my first slide was going to talk about rivers first. And this was the information that I wanted to include. And then my second slide, based on the information that was over here, I decided to do water fun. And my next slide was on transportation and how the waterways are used for different kinds of transportation. And then we talked about port cities, since they're talking about port cities. And when they talked about cruises, I added that part to the water fun section. Now, after I finished this storyboard, then it was time to show them how to put it all together on a PowerPoint presentation. So that's when I decided to go on PowerPoint and show them the tips on how to create the basic PowerPoint. It didn't have all of these extras that I added here. I just basically added the information that I first had, and it was only words. And then after that was when I went in and I added the pictures. I do have my references page that I have to work on to add the references, which will be our textbook and anywhere that I used to get the pictures from, which I used a lot of Gifs. So I'm going to show you the Gifs that I use so that you can see. And I also use one slide to demonstrate some slide transitions and animations that they can add later when they're done. So as you can see, this is a wave GIF that I added, and it's actually present in all of the slides. And this is also a GIF right here. So we go and it talks about exactly what I talked about in my storyboard, except I may have made a few changes here and there, but it's basically the same thing that was on the storyboard. And this is the slide that I worked on some animation so that they can see what they can add as they are creating their presentation and going over the information that was in their section. And yeah, I hope the kids enjoy doing this presentation. Hopefully they'll be done by next week and they can present and teach the class what they learned about the particular section they were assigned to in their textbook. So yeah, adding GIFs to PowerPoint is very simple. You just go to your image search on Google and you type animated GIFs. Like I typed swimming GIF and I wanted to look for an animated one, and you can preview it on the internet and then you insert them. As you saw when I showed you the presentation before I actually hit play show, the GIFs don't move unless you click play show. So they move during the presentation of the actual PowerPoint. So the kids absolutely love GIFs, and some of them were even asking me if they can add memes because they like memes too. So I'm looking forward to see what they end up creating. I am going to make sure that they don't overcrowd their slides with too many pictures, so I will make sure that I go over that with them. All right, so that is all I have for you for this week. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. Hello, dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you because you are capable of great things. See you next time.